Memorization tools to help get started. You've been convinced of the necessity to memorize Scripture and its benefits for your life. You've made a plan, set some goals, and started building this gospel habit. The first few verses are pretty easy to keep up with, but as you progress, it helps to have some tools to keep going. We live in a world geared to put the best tools within easy reach. There are a number of great tools out there to help you memorize Scripture and make that a long-term habit in your life. Index cards. Regular old 3x5 index cards are a tried and true way to start memorizing Scripture. A recipe box works great for storing these. Write your verses on an index card and memorize it today. Put it behind the first divider. Tomorrow, either memorize another verse or just review the one you learned yesterday. If you get it right the first try, put it behind the next divider and don't review it again for 3 days. If you get it right the first time in 3 days, then put it behind the next divider and don't review it again for a week. The next divider after that is for verses you review once a month. Anytime you have an error on the review, move it back to the front of the box and start over. The process of reviewing it just before you forget it will help it cement into your long-term memory. A Bible memory app. My favorite tool for memorizing Scripture is on my phone in what is called the Bible Memory app. And by the way, links for these will be in the description. Most of us always have our phones on us, and you can use the tool anytime you have a few minutes of downtime to review Scriptures. The app makes it easy to memorize and takes the work of remembering how often to review off your hands. By the way, they aren't sponsoring this or anything like that. I just like this app. One of my favorite uses of the Bible Memory app is that you can just type in the first letter of each word and it will display the rest of the word. It's weird, but it works. For example, for John 3:16, for God so loved the world, you type FGSLTW. Don't ask me why that helps you memorize the words of the verse, but it works very well in my experience. Give it a try. Bible verses put to song. One of the easiest ways to memorize Scripture is to set it to music. Now this works a lot better if you can make up your own songs. The work of composing the music yourself helps cement it into your mind. But if you're like me and that really isn't an option, using verses others have set to song can be a stress-free way of memorization. One of my favorites is fighter verse songs. When my kids were little, we listened to their Sermon on the Mount CD. And to this day, when someone starts quoting a verse from Matthew 5-7, we can hardly stop ourselves from bursting into song along with them. Get started. Whatever method you decide on, the important thing is to set some reasonable goals and just get started. Start simple. You can easily memorize for a few minutes each day. You will be surprised at how quickly it adds up. You'll also be surprised at how addictive it can be. The important thing is that Bible memorization becomes a long-term part of your life. I pray the Lord blesses your efforts.